Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of my podcast, Things Could Be Worse. I'm your host, Baileydedrick, and today we're doing another storytime episode type of vibe. You guys loved last week's episode of my entire spring break in Cabo recap. I told so many stories that were hilarious, and you guys honestly just loved it. The feedback has been great, and I loved recording that episode. So I think I'm going to start doing more like personal stories and stuff. I mean, that was always kind of a plan. But until I got like all that positive feedback, I wasn't like super sure how much I wanted to do like story times. But today I have a very interesting one today, a very scary one, almost it's a very traumatic experience for me that I'm going to be sharing, and that is my creepy stalker story time. I haven't said anything about this online just because rule number one about having a stalker is that you don't talk about it, especially online, because at least for like who I am and what I do, like a lot of people can be like creepily obsessed with, people that put their lives online. So my biggest fear was like if I talked about it at all, it would just get worse. So I haven't been able to talk about it. But last night something happened and now it's safe to talk about it. And I can't wait to share this story with you guys. I'm honestly just like already geeking over it. But anyways, I want to preface this episode by saying I have to leave in less than an hour and I need like 10-15 minutes to get dressed. So this might be a shorter episode, but honestly, there really isn't that much to talk about. I'm just going to like get right to the point. I'm going to tell the story and, make it as entertaining as possible. But just so you know, I don't have much time. So hopefully we can get through this seamlessly, easily, and just share this story with you guys. You guys keep saying that you love when I kind of touch base with you and inform you on what's going on in my life at like the time that I'm filming these episodes. So I just wanted to kind of talk about my current life for a sec. There really isn't much, and honestly, I've just been like working my little booty off since I got back from Cabo because I was so behind on work, and then I'm leaving for New York in a few days. So I need to get stuff like pre-recorded, pre-edited, pre-done so that I don't have to worry about it while I'm in New York. But I have a few updates about New York for you guys. If you guys were listening to the last episode, I kind of talked about how I didn't want to go to New York because it's a school trip. I'm going with my fashion class from, why do I keep saying freshman? I said that in the last episode too, from first semester of my senior year. So like my last semester that I was in school. I'm going to New York with 40 people, which is insane. This doesn't sound fun at all. I don't even know why I decided to do this, but basically it's paid for. I have to go and it's going to be fun, but I have some updates. Number one, we're not supposed to wear ripped jeans. We're supposed to look business casual the entire time that we're there, and I'm pissed because, well, first of all, I'm not doing that. I don't even own non-ripped jeans. Like, obviously, yeah, maybe I have like a pair or two, but they aren't my favorite jeans. And if I'm in New York, I'm going to be taking Instagram photos and I want to look cute. You know what I mean? It's not that deep. I'm going to wear my ripped jeans, but like, what? We were not informed about this until like a week ago. And this trip has been in the works for months and months and months, and it's literally next week, and they're gonna tell us that right now. Like, I'm not gonna go buy a whole new wardrobe just to like be business casual. And like, business casual, why? Like, for what reason? Yeah, we're doing like some businessy type of like things, like we're going to like a fashion thing. I don't even know what we're doing, but like we're meeting with people in business. So I guess that makes sense for being business casual, like on those days. But then like there's other days where we're just going on like tours of like the Ellis Island and like going to Broadway shows and stuff. Like, I don't need to be business casual to see the Statue of Liberty. You know what I mean? So I'm a little bit pissed off about that. Also, we were informed that they are taping our doors shut at night. Our hotel room doors taped shut so that they know if we try to sneak out. Is that not that is, like, I get it. You have like all of these students in New York City. They've probably never been here. You're 17, 18 years old. And it's like, it's hard to make sure that everybody stays safe. But like, that seems a little much, no? I don't know. It just seems a little bit far for me. And then also they said if you get caught with any like drugs or alcohol on the trip, they literally told you to find your own way home. Like, they're just going to disown you. And I get it. Like, you can't have drugs and alcohol on a school trip. Like, it all makes sense. But it's like, I don't know if they're actually going to be like that strict or if they're just trying to scare us ahead of time so that we don't try to like pull anything stupid. I'm not sure, but I am not looking forward to it at all. And it's going to be an experience for sure. But at least like the other girls that I'm with, we're all kind of like on the exact same page, and we're going to have each other to like get through it with. But yeah, that's gonna be an interesting trip for sure. I will definitely do a whole pod of like explaining that when I get back, because I know I've been talking about it quite frequently, so you guys are probably gonna be like curious of how it went. But anyways, besides that, I just got my nails done, I just got my lashes done. Prom is in 2 days, and I'm excited because, I mean, it's just fun to dress up and like be with your friends and have like an actual like event type of thing to go to, if you know what I mean. Like, yeah, me and my friends hang out, like the same group of people pretty much hang out every single weekend, but it's just like different when you have to like get ready and like take pictures and stuff. But it's supposed to rain the day of prom, so that might ruin our pictures completely and just like not even, I don't know. I'm not gonna do my hair. I'm literally just gonna curl my hair, because if I put in like hours of work into my hair and then it rains, I'm going to be so pissed. But yeah, I'm looking forward to prom. I don't like have super high expectations for the actual dance, but like the after party and the dinner and everything like that should be fun. And I'm dragging my boyfriend along with me, so it'll be also an experience. Right after this, I'm going to a celebration of life for somebody that passed away. If you guys were listening to last episode, you may know a little bit about that, but I'm going to that right after this. So that's why I kind of have to hurry. But I think that's it for like what's been going on in my life. Literally not much. My brother's home right now, and like I've been spending time with him because like I haven't really seen him because I've been gone and he's been back in his town, whatever. Honestly, I think that's it for my little life update. Nothing else interesting I feel like has been going on except for this little stalker story time that I need to get into because we're cutting it with time. Once again, if you're watching this episode visually and you see this obnoxious piece of white paper that I always have sitting next to me, sorry, I planned everything out so that I don't forget important details. But let's start with the first thing I have written down. And I'm going to say for the last couple of months, I've been dealing with something. And I've been dealing with something that has been causing me not only like physical pain, like not physical pain. I don't know. This has been like literally traumatizing. And I don't mean to like throw that word around lightly, because like this isn't actually traumatizing, but like I have been so paranoid for months. And, yeah, it just hasn't been good at all. We'll throw it back to the night of the Super Bowl. I had a whole group, or not even a whole group, but I had like a decent amount of friends over, like a group of like 7, 8, 9, 10 people over on, I think it was February 12th was the Super Bowl, and that also happens to be my boyfriend Leo's birthday. So I threw him like a little surprise birthday party, Super Bowl party in my basement. It was so funny. I'll explain it quick. I had him come over, and obviously, like, boys love football. He loves football, and he planned on spending that night, well, what he thought was to go to his friend Max's house and watch the game with, like, Max's family and family friends and stuff like that. So Leo came over just so that I could, like, give him his gifts and, I don't know, see him for a little bit. And then I secretly had everybody, like, all of our super close friends sneak into my basement through, like, the garage. And they all, like, set up, like, snacks and stuff and just hung out there. And me and Leo were just in my room. And then at the end of our like hanging out time, like right before he was supposed to go to Max's, I asked him if he could come downstairs and grab something with me, and he said yeah. And then we walked downstairs and everybody surprised him. So that was a fun little thing. I was so proud of myself. He was actually surprised, and surprise parties never work. But yeah, so that night had people over. They ended up staying pretty late. I think it was like 1:30, 1:40, 1:40. Keep that time in mind throughout this entire thing. 1:40 a.m. 1:40 a.m. So after my friends left, Leo told me that there was a silver Buick just sitting outside of my house, like right outside of my house, sitting with its lights on. Like there was someone sitting in the car. It isn't one of my neighbor's cars. Like he kind of knows, like you know, like it just didn't look right. So they had to walk across. I have like a circle drive kind of near my house, like right out there. and his friend drove him, or I think he was going home with his friend. I don't even know, but they had to walk kind of far to get into the car that they were going home in. And they walked up to the person in the car, and the person in the car just sped off, went down the street, like took off when Leo started walking towards the car. And Leo was like, that was kind of weird. So they got in the car and they tried to like go follow him, and they followed him down like one street, and then he like disappeared. And that was that. I didn't really think anything of it. I thought it was just someone at one of my neighbors' houses like watching the Super Bowl, and they just like got kind of spooked by like Leo walking up to their car or something. And I just was honestly like, I forgot about it after he mentioned it the first time. I don't have specific dates for all of the events that I'm going to talk about, but I do have some, but the next one I don't have one for. Basically, me and my brother have terrible sleep schedules. We have always been like night owls. Ever since we were little, we've stayed up super late. So most nights, Noah, my brother, he will stay up till like 2, 3 a.m. and he always gets hungry in like the middle of the night, like before he goes to bed. So he was walking downstairs one night, don't remember the date, but it was just one night around 1:30 a.m. He goes downstairs to the kitchen to grab a snack. He turns on the lights, whatever, grabs a snack, and then like the way that my house is set up, like you can see the whole front like street through these big windows that are like in like the downstairs, if that makes sense. So like you can kind of see what's going on by like if you're standing in the kitchen, like you can see what's going on. So he grabs a snack, he walks around the corner, he flips the lights off to go back upstairs, and he notices a silver Buick. Yep, a silver Buick just sitting outside of my house. And when the lights flipped off, the car took off. It did like a weird loop through the circle drive and then sped up the street, paused at one house, and then continued going. Again, this was around 1:40 a.m. The car was sitting right outside my house, goes around this little circle drive, it does this little loop, and then speeds off, pauses, and speeds off again. The next day, Noah mentions this to me, and he was like, there was a car sitting outside last night, and I think it was a silver Buick. And right when he says that, I literally go back in time. This was like a couple weeks earlier, and I go back to Leo telling me that there's a silver Buick sitting outside, and I was like, oh my God. So I text Leo again. I was like, can you explain to me what happened again when you saw this car? Like this kind of weird, like the same thing kind of just happened. I wasn't really freaked out or like too worried at this point because it had only happened twice, and I hadn't seen it like for myself yet. Like I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. So I just brushed it off again. And then I don't remember if the next time something happened was a few days later or if it was like a few weeks later. Like my whole memory and like the timeline is so off, but I feel like it was just like a few days later. Noah goes downstairs, grabs a snack. The exact same thing happens. Exact same time, 1:40 a.m., sees a silver car sitting outside, flips the lights off, car goes around the circle drive, pauses halfway through the circle drive, speeds up the street, pauses, and then continues speeding up the street. And at this point, when Noah told me this, I was like, okay, this is definitely weird. And I, being like the paranoid, true crime obsessed bitch that I am, I'm like, okay, so we have a stalker serial killer on our hands, because if you hear anything about like serial killers, oftentimes they are very particular, they're very like OCD, and they're very habitual. So the first thing I think of is, okay, he's coming every single night. I mean, not every single night, but every time we catch him, it's at the same time, 1:40. And then he does the same exact weird like route. He goes around the circle drive backwards. Like you would normally go like clockwise. He was going like counterclockwise, and then he was pausing halfway through it. Or wait, you would normally go counter, whatever. I don't know what that means, but he went around it backwards, pauses, and then speeds up the street, pauses. It was like super habitual, and I start freaking out because I'm like, okay, so this guy is just like seeing our patterns, he's seeing our routines, he's seeing what time we go to bed so that he can come in the house and murder me, right? That's exactly where my head goes to, because I mean, it's weird, and I had this terrible gut feeling, like I don't know, something was really off. I don't normally like overthink things too much, or like, I don't know, like I had this terrible feeling that it was like actually something really bad. So a few days after those situations took place, on March 2nd, me and Noah went to Best Buy and we bought a bunch of security cameras. We like put them up all around the house so that at least I could have some sort of like peace of mind, because I don't know, like that just makes you feel safer, and it like monitors obviously everything that's going on outside. So that made me feel a little bit better, but I was really hoping that I could catch this car sitting outside the house on these cameras, and that never happened. I don't know why. It was almost like, so we have these like pillars in the front of our house, and every single time that the car would be sitting out there, from where the camera angle was, there was like two blind spots that this camera had, because there's the two big pillars outside on my like front porch, and the car was parking directly behind the pillars. Obviously this guy didn't know like where the camera footage was like located at, but like he was perfectly parking every single time we saw him behind the two pillars, not in the frame of the cameras. I even talked to like my neighbor across the street, like he goes to school with me. I've known him forever, and I was like, hey, do you by chance know somebody with a silver Buick, or have also seen this going on at night? And he was like, no, like I have no idea, I'm sorry, I'll let my parents know, and like if they see it they'll let you know, or like call the cops or something. So at this point we kind of like realized that we should maybe like go to the police. Even if it isn't anything, it's better to be safe than sorry. So we said next time we see this car, we're going to make a police report, just because even if it isn't like something like a stalker, it is kind of weird, because this isn't one of my neighbor's cars. I've never seen a silver Buick in the neighborhood ever. Like I just haven't. And it was just like weird in general. And we just decided we were gonna make a police report the next time that we saw this car. The next couple of weeks following this, I would like accidentally stay up really late, or like subconsciously my body would wake me up right around 1:40 so that I could look outside to see if the car was out there. I don't know what that's all about, but like I just couldn't fall asleep. I was like scared. I was paranoid. So I was like overthinking it while I was sleeping. I was like, what if the car comes and then I don't see it? Because this whole time we're trying to get plates. Like we want some information to help us figure out what this guy or girl is doing. You know what I mean? So I would just like be laying in bed with my eyes wide open, like my mind racing with hundreds of thoughts. And if my dad like listens to this and he like wants to hear how I'm explaining this, he thought I was being dramatic the entire time. Like he literally, like he just didn't seem to care much. And I was like, why aren't you worried? Like this could be like a legitimate stalker that is like a bad thing, you know what I mean? Like, and he just like he obviously cared because like I was worried, but like I could see that he really didn't care, like think anything of it. So if he knew that I was like literally laying in bed awake at night just being like, oh my god, like what if he comes tonight? Like what if tonight's the night that he comes in and murders me? You know what I mean? I was like, that's what was going on. So I couldn't really sleep. Like I didn't have like a huge problem with it. And honestly, like after we would see it and then we would go a few days without seeing it, I'd be able to like forget about it and like be able to sleep and stuff earlier. But for the most part, I've been staying up for like the last month till like 1:40 every night so that I can see if this car comes. And you know, it would kind of like only happen like once a week. I feel like we would see it. And the weirdest thing is, for the first like couple times we saw it, we would only see it when my brother was home in town. So he lives 2 hours away. He's like back home pretty frequently because like he has friends here and like he wants to be with family and stuff. So we would only ever see it when my brother's car was in the driveway. So like I was like, well, what if my brother has the stalker? Because like my brother parks in the driveway. So I was like, what if they know? And like, because I only have ever seen this car when Noah's been home, and then when Noah would go back home to his house, I wouldn't see this car. You know what I mean? So it was just like, that was really weird as well. But nonetheless, it was really only happening like once a week, and it wasn't like a specific day of the week. It was like random days of the week, but it was the same time, same little route thing that they did, and like same like pattern. It was really weird. So I wasn't able to get any pictures of the car or any license plate or anything like that. And I really wanted to. And that's why I was so adamant about staying up and waiting for the car, because it's not like I was going to go out there and like fight this guy or girl. I was just like, I want to get some proof of what's happening because like I felt like I was going crazy. So a couple weeks ago, I was laying in my bed, paranoid once again, because I looked over at my alarm clock and I saw that it was almost 1:40. I think it was like 1:32 or something. And I'm just kind of laying there. I'm like, oh my God, like what if the car comes tonight? And I'm just like thinking about that over and over and over. And all of a sudden I hear this loud engine, and I recognize this engine by this point. Like it's an older Buick, so it makes like a nice little rev when it goes, you know what I mean? I almost can like distinctually point out the sound of this car now because I'm so used to hearing it speed up my street and stuff like that. So I hear this noise, and in my room I have these windows that are like up at the top of my like wall. I don't even know how to explain it, but basically when a car drives by, like lights kind of move across my room. Do you know what I mean? Like when the lights go, like it kind of like travels across my room. So I hear this loud noise, and then I see headlights travel across the top of my room, and I'm like, oh my God, it's the car, isn't it? And I'm kind of like frozen in bed for a second. I don't know why I was so freaked out, but I'm just kind of like frozen there. And all of a sudden I hear my brother from downstairs yell my name. He goes, Bailey. And I don't respond because I was like, am I hearing things now? Like, is he actually saying that? And he goes, Bailey, Buick. And I was like, oh my God. I rushed out of bed. I think like I rarely sleep with like pants on. So I think I like put my pants on. I ran down the stairs to take a look at what was going on. And then we both decided we were going to get in the car and try to drive around the neighborhood and find this car. So we got in the car. We had no luck. We didn't even see the car. We drove literally all throughout the neighborhood. And at this point, we were like, maybe we should call the police just because we said last time that this happened. If it happened again and we saw the car again, we would call the police. So we called like the non-emergency police line and we explained everything to them. And they basically said that they would send someone out to kind of monitor the neighborhood. And we were like, they're gone. Like we just drove around for 15 minutes. This car is definitely gone by now. But they sent someone out anyways, which made me feel better. And then they proceeded to say that for the next like week or so, they would send somebody around 1:40, 1:30 every single night just because like they patrol neighborhoods all the time. Like cops, like that's what they do at night. So they said that they would put one so that the route travels through at the time that we've been seeing this car, if that makes sense. I explained that so bad. Lo and behold, that was the only night that the cops actually came and like monitored the neighborhood or patrolled the neighborhood or whatever you want to say. They honestly didn't care and they were not a help at all. When we originally called, they didn't even like blink an eye. They were like, okay, yeah, we can send someone out. We see this a lot though, and it's usually just like young kids geocaching. And I was like, what? Do you know what geocaching is? I'm not hiding geocache boxes in my front lawn. You know what I mean? Like this isn't geocaching, you stupid bitch. Cops didn't help whatsoever. So we were like, all right, well, we're on our own now. We're on our own. We're going to catch this motherfucker ourselves. You know what I mean? We're going to get these plates ourselves. We're going to do it ourselves. We're going to be private investigators because these cops clearly don't give a fuck to help us, which now looking back on it, I'm glad they didn't pay any mind to it. Then it happens again when my brother's home. We tried to go find the car and we couldn't. It was almost like this car would see us, like catch it by the lights or see us in the windows looking out at it. And then it would speed off and literally vanish. Like the second it knew we were like onto them, then they would speed off and vanish and just completely leave the neighborhood. Because we were like searching the neighborhood. Like we were going down all the streets, all the little nooks and crannies, and we could not find this car anywhere. And it's like, it's kind of weird that it's just coming to the neighborhood at this time of the night and then leaving the neighborhood. And we were checking like driveways to see if there was any silver Buick owners. Like we were checking everything, you know what I mean? Like we just wanted to get to the bottom of it, even if like, I don't even know what we were thinking, but we just wanted to know like why. What was the reason? You know, why was this person pulling up every single night at the same time, doing the same shit? Like we were just creeped out, you know what I mean? Now, if we're talking present day, about a week ago, I saw the same car at the same time doing the same little thing, but no one was out at the bar. So I took a picture of the car parked up the street, like where it pauses, and I sent it. And then we kind of talked about it a little bit and then forgot about it, because it's like, I'm not going to go chase this car alone, because God forbid it is actually someone that's very dangerous. I'm not going to be alone. That would be almost like stupid. So I didn't go try to look for the car by myself. One, because I am way too much of a pussy to do that. Two, because that's like genuinely probably not the best idea. Then a few days later, so like a few days ago from now, we see the car again, same freaking thing, goes around the circle drive, goes up the street, pauses. Like clockwork, like fucking clockwork. I could literally, like, if I close my eyes, I can perfectly envision every little detail of what this car does, how it sounds, except for the damn license plate, you know what I mean? Like what? So we see the car again, we sprint out of the house. 2 minutes tops it takes us. I don't even think it took us that long. I think it took us a minute. We're sprinting down the stairs. I run outside, no shoes on. I like jump in the car. We literally have, if you're watching visually, I'll play the clip of what the security cameras got of me and Noah running to the car. It's really funny. We are literally just booked it to the car. We were like, we're gonna catch him this time. We pull up the street. We look everywhere. Fucking vanished. This car is gone. Nowhere to be found. Where is it disappearing to? It's like, I just want to see it. I just want to see it. Like, I just want to know where it's going. I want to know any bit of information that I can, because it's just like, it's been going on for so long at this point. We have no answers. I'm just like waiting to be murdered by this stalker, and there's nothing I can do. Like, the cops didn't care. I was just like, oh my God, I'm so pissed off. Then last night, you guys, we made a breakthrough. Yes, we did. We made the biggest break. I'm going to start crying because I feel so fucking stupid. I can't. Oh, I forgot a little detail. When I saw the car a week ago and my brother was at the bar, my boyfriend was at a friend's house and he was just leaving. Like, when I texted him, I've been like updating obviously my boyfriend on all of the times that I see this car and everything. And I told my boyfriend about it and he was like, okay, me and Brennan are leaving. Oh, my voice cracked. He was like, me and Brennan are leaving whoever's house and we will like swing through the neighborhood and see if we see anything. And I was like, it is useless, because we have gone out countless times now, or not countless, but like numerous times, multiple times we've gone out, and once the car passes the house, it disappears forever. You know what I mean? It disappears until the next time we see it. And he was like, no, like, I explained the whole thing to Brennan, and like Brennan wants to go drive over there. So they patrolled the neighborhood for a little bit, and they end up finding a silver Buick parked out of someone's house. And I was like, oh yeah, we got him, got the license plate, got everything. And this was at the time, like when they found this car, it would have been about 20, 30, 40 minutes after it had driven past my house. So I was like, okay, we got it, because I've never seen that Buick parked outside of that house before. So I was like, this has got to be it, right? It wasn't, but I thought we did something good. We didn't. But anyways, last night we see the car. Same thing. I'm laying in bed. I cannot sleep at all. I'm laying there. I'm not even thinking about the car, but for some reason now, like, I just like can't go to bed unless I've waited up till 1:40. It's crazy. So I'm laying in bed. I'm just like thinking about stuff. I'm trying to get comfortable. And all of a sudden, I hear that same damn engine. I see the headlights go around my room, and I open my blinds. I like crawl across my bed, open my blinds, and look out, and I see the Buick outside of my house. I text Noah right away. I run out my door. He's running out my door. We reach at the top of the stairs. I'm literally not wearing pants. I just have a pair of underwear on. Oh God, my mom just said, I'm ready whenever you are. Oh, we got to get to the bottom. We got to conclude this story. Come on. So we meet at the top of the stairs. I'm literally not wearing shoes. I'm not wearing pants. I'm sprinting. I had like a big t-shirt on, so it wasn't like weird. Don't like think it was basically like I was wearing a dress, but, we sprint out of the house. I wonder if I have footage from last night, my dad always like goes in and deletes like the stupid clips from the security camera that like isn't showing anything. Damn it, he deleted it. That would have been funny because we sprinted out even faster last night than we did any other night. We make it. Oh, so okay, sorry, I'm a little all over the place. Every other time we had like walked outside or ran outside to get in Noah's car and follow this car, like try to find it. The car was already gone. It had already gone up the street and left. But last night, I caught it when it was at like the front of my house. So we knew that it still had to go from the front of my house to around the circle, drive backwards, pause, continue going, go up the street, pause, and continue going. So I was like, if we make it out of the house in 10 seconds right now, we are gold. We are gold. So we sprint out of the house. The car is still in the circle drive. This is the fastest we've ever caught this guy. And we get in the car, we take off, we're following this guy, right? And I'm trying to get a license plate, but this new damn iPhone 14, you guys, the camera quality is great when it focuses, but it's always out of focus. Like if I go take a picture on like Snapchat or if I go try to film a TikTok, it's going to be out of focus for like 30 seconds before I like click on my face enough times for it to focus. Like I don't know what the deal is with that, but I'm like trying to take pictures of this license plate and my phone is not focusing. So I'm like freaking out. I just decided to start a video and record the car and hope that I get something. And then we're like following him for a sec and then he stops. He does his same habitual little pause. And we see him put something in the mailbox. And then we pass this guy because he's paused. And then again, he speeds up the street. We continue following him. He goes down one road, we go down the other, and then we meet him at the other, like we go around the block and we meet him. I don't even know. We were basically just following him and like being able to reconnect with him. Obviously, we know our streets in our neighborhood really well and we know where other streets like come out into other streets. So we were just trying to like catch this guy, see what he was doing. And we see him put something else in a mailbox and we were like, weird, right? And then we follow him a little bit longer and he gets out of the car and we see that he is a man. He's wearing gloves and he has like stuff in his hands that he's about to put in someone's mailbox. And I was like, okay, does this feel like drugs? Like, is this guy doing like a weekly drug drop off? Or like, why is he wearing gloves? Why is he kind of sketchy looking? Like, I don't want to be like whatever, but he was a little sketchy looking. And yeah, I don't know. I was just trying to like figure it out, put it all together. And then he yells at us. That happened. He yells at us and we get kind of spooked. I was like, okay, well, if he wasn't already planning to kill us, now he has a reason to, and he saw what house we pulled out of. So now I'm getting paranoid even more. So then on the way back to our house, we decided to take a little peek in our neighbor's mailbox. Not like open it because that's a felony. We just like looked at like the bottom part, you know, you can just like look in and see. We decided to look in and see what this guy was dropping off. And I was shocked. I was so shocked. It was newspaper. This motherfucker is a fucking mailman. I have been freaking out for months over a mailman. What? I literally started dying laughing. We were cracking up. I was like, oh my God. There is no way this guy is just delivering the fucking local newspaper. And at first I was like, that makes no sense. Like, why would somebody be delivering? Like, don't mail people have like mail trucks? And then I was like, no, that's like that's like big mail delivery. That's not like just like local newspaper. Like they used to have like newspaper boys that like went around on bikes. You know what I mean? Like this guy is just like employed and he uses his own car to go deliver these newspapers. And I'm relieved, you guys, but I'm honestly so pissed off that I let myself be so worried for so long. You guys probably are like, you're kidding. You're kidding. You told that entire story so dramatically just for you to end it like that. Yes, I had to tell it that way and I had to get the point across to you in that type of dramatic way because I need you to know how I have felt for the last 2 months and then how I felt last night finding that out. Like we're in the same boat here. Yes, blue balls for the entertainment side of things, but super big win on my safety, on my peace of mind, on everything. So yeah, there's my little crazy stalker story time. That wasn't actually a crazy stalker at all. You guys have to admit though, like, it was weird. And it wasn't just me. Like, my boyfriend thought it was weird. My brother thought it was weird. Obviously, I said my dad didn't, but I don't know. My dad, I think he might be like a psychic. He knows everything before it happens. So I think he just like, he knew it wasn't anything and then he just didn't care. But like, it was weird, and it was weird habitual patterns, and it wasn't a good feeling, a good gut feeling. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I have to leave. Like, I literally have to leave, and I haven't gotten ready yet. So I'm so sorry to end this episode abruptly. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to review and rate the pod and do all of that fun stuff. It really helps me out. You can follow the TikTok and the Instagram at Things Could Be Worse Pod. I love asking you guys questions and like getting your input, specifically on the Instagram. Like, today's episode idea got inspired by the Instagram, because I was like, what do you guys want to hear me talk about? And then somebody said, do you have any stalker story times? And I was like, oh my God, this is perfect timing. Like, I just was able to wrap up my traumatic stalker experience last night. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this story. I know it might have been weird, and especially the way that it ended, but I love you guys, and I will see you in the next episode. Why do I always do that? My throat is so dry. But I will say that was the most efficient podcast episode I've ever filmed, ever recorded. And I'm honestly proud of myself, because I feel like sometimes I drag on my stories and I talk for way too long and it just gets annoying. But I feel like since I was kind of in a rush, I got straight to the point, and I don't feel like I put in like too much extra information that wasn't needed. So I hope you enjoyed. I love you. And now I'm actually going to say goodbye.